Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another review from a haul that I recently did, and this was also a requested video. So I've been testing these out and I kind of have an idea of my thoughts with these. And what I'm talking about is the new Wet n Wild Contouring Palette Contour. Contouring Palette Contour. That's what they named it. See? It ain't me. It ain't my crazy brain. So I have the older ones as well as the newer ones. And just by looking at them at a glance, you guys can tell that they are different from the old ones. I can tell you off the bat that if you have the old ones and you love them, you're going to enjoy the new ones. They're just softer to the touch, if that makes any sense. I don't feel that they made them worse. They may have made them better in certain ways, but it could be a personal preference thing to see if maybe you want to stick with what they had and try to stock up on the old version, or get the new ones because you may like the coloring more of them. So I'm going to start off with the old ones and then compare it to the new one next to it. So the first one that I have here is called Dulce De Leche. This is the one that is the more yellow toned under eye, I guess. Some people like it to set under the under eye. Some people like to set their face with them. And then it has the kind of warmer of the two contour. Let me see. Yeah, it's like, it's more of a warmer contour in this one than the older one. So with these two, I really liked. I have used both of them to contour to go under my eyes, and I love the formula of these. You guys know that I'm not one to contour all the time, and these are the only contouring palettes that I own, and I'm happy with them. So they are soft to the touch, and they are very pigmented. Now, as you can see when I swatch these, you're not getting a bunch of powdery kick up, which I really did like because I could use any type of brush and I didn't feel like there was powder everywhere on them. So keep that in mind when I review the new ones. So these are the older ones. This one is Dulce De Leche, so I'm going to swatch these for you. So I'm going to swatch the newer one next to you. So this is what the older one looks like. Let me build up that contour shade just a little bit. And the other thing, now that I'm saying building up, the contour shades weren't so pigmented where you can build them up gradually and you don't feel like you overdid it with the first brush stroke. Sometimes having something way too pigmented may not be the best thing for certain things on your face. Like for me personally, one that does not contour all the time, I feel like if something's way too pigmented, I'm gonna look like a hot mess if I put too much from the beginning, because it's going to be harder for me to blend it out. So that's why I love these so much, because they were buildable. So here is the older version of the contouring set. Now I also forgot to mention to you guys that the palettes themselves are the newer ones are 0.02 less of product than the older ones. This one is 0.46 ounces or 13 grams, and then the new ones is 12.5 grams. So you're getting a little bit less product for the same amount of money. So keep that in mind as well, that it may look the same, but you're getting a little bit less in the new palettes. And they are the same price. You can find them. I have found mine at Walmart, and I'm pretty sure that they're popping up everywhere else at Wet n Wild. I know Walgreens carries them. So just have a little patience. They are going to get to your area. They are permanent, so don't you worry. If you want to get the new ones, they will be coming. Now, as far as the older ones, you might want to pick them up if you don't like the newer ones. So again, this one is Dulce De Leche, and here is the swatches of them. Now I'm going to grab the new Dulce De Leche and show you that one. Now here is the new, oops, I'm always dropping it. Here is the new Dulce De Leche. Off the bat already, I could tell you that the back of the old one just had a bunch of writing, and the new one actually has pictures to show you how to highlight, contour, and how to blend it. So they already kind of upgraded the back of it to kind of help those that are beginners or aren't into the contouring thing every day and they just want to do it here and there. It kind of gives you a guide as to how to do it. So that's the new thing. Again, you're going to get 0.5 less grams in the new one than the old one. Before I swatch this one, I'm going to put these two side by side so you can see them. So again, this is the old one, and here is the new one. Can you tell the difference? So if you fell in love with this one, you are probably not going to like the new one because it is completely different. It is so different. And this is the one that I really liked. So as you could tell, the new one, the actual contour is a lot warmer, and the actual under eye powder to highlight or whatever is a lot warmer as well. Now with this one, these new formulas, you get so much powder kick up. I feel like it's not so packed in there that you're gonna get a lot of powder kick up. I grab my brush and I just bounce it and I get so much stuff everywhere on this. The good thing is it is super, super pigmented where I don't have to build it up. So I'm barely putting my finger in there. Barely putting my finger in there. And these feel almost like cream to powder on them. So because it is so powdery, the opposite way, I guess, like what you're getting out of it is more pigmentation. But again, if you are the type of person that gradually wants to build something up and you're scared of it, you're going to put your brush on there and it's going to be a hot mess if you go in there hard, because I did, and that was a hot mess. So here is the new swatches. So here you can see that it's so much more pigmented and it looks different from the older one. See how light that is? You could build that one up. This one I barely put my finger in, and you're gonna get so much more color payoff. It's up to you whether you feel that you can handle it, or you prefer the older formula where it was a lot easier to just build it up and it still was pigmented even so. So that is the honest difference between these two, is the feeling of these. This one's so much softer feeling than the older one. I feel like in this one it was more packed in there, and this one is a lot more loose. Like it feels like butter. And you thought that this was soft, this is even softer. So you're gonna get so much more powder kick up with this. Like, I mean, I barely got any powder kick up. And the brushes that I use to contour is this Laura Geller one. I can't use this in the new powder anymore because once I bounce it in there, there's so much powder that kicks up. I can only use this brush in the older formula. So now I have to use something that's super soft. A stippling brush is gonna be a hot mess again in here. Anything that's prickly, anything that's not soft as far as the actual brush itself, you're going to get so much powder. And even so with that, you have to be very careful and just bounce it in there. If you remember I feel like with the contour shades, they went the opposite way of the blushes. Because the blushes, remember the old Wet n Wild blushes, you could barely put your brush in there and you get so much pigmentation. And then and I feel like with the new ones, you have to really build it up now. You don't get that much powder kick up. I feel like they went the opposite way with these contours. I feel like the older version is the new version of the blushes, and then the new version of the contour is the old version of the blushes. If that makes any sense to you guys, that's exactly how I would describe it. So that is the first one. This is Dulce de Leche. And here's the swatches one more time. Now on to the other contour palette. If you were the person that liked the caramel toffee, this is the older version of it. I'm going to go ahead. This one was more of the pinky toned highlight under your eyes, and this one was a little bit more cooler toned bronzer on the bottom, or contour. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to swatch both of these for you guys so you guys can really see it and take it all in. So that is the old version of the contour palette. And this is the new one. Look at the difference between these two. This is not the same product. I don't know why they did this. I really enjoyed the older version colors of both. This one again is even more yellow toned and even more warmer of a bronzing look. So I'm going to swatch these for you. Again, I barely have to put my fingers in there. And I get, oh, look how much I get already. I barely even moved my fingers. Oh my gosh. This is a big difference. So I built up the color for you guys. This is the old caramel toffee. This is the new caramel toffee. You see the difference? So much more of a warmer contour than the older version was. I'm going to put these next to each other so you can see them. Old version, new version. And here are the swatches of the old version and then the new version. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you were curious to know if the old version was anything different or the same as the new version, I feel like they are completely different in texture, in color, and in the way of how much product you get. They are the same amount of money. You do get a little bit less product, but I feel like the older version, this is how I see it. It all depends. It's all personal preference, like I said from the beginning. It's all personal preference. If you were wanting something darker, something more yellow, something more warmer, you're gonna love the new ones. If you prefer the cooler tone colors, the less pigmentation, because even the older ones were not less pigmented. They were still great pigmentation. It was just the new version, you're gonna get so much more color payoff on your skin than you would with this one. This one I feel like I had to build up a little bit more. Now as far as performance on my face, I feel like they both blended out really nicely. They both lasted the same amount of time. I have the contour one. I think I have the old version today on. I have Dulce De Leche, the old version, as my contour today, and it blends out really nice. This one did as well. The only difference with this one is now I have to use a different brush and I have to have such a light hand because I need to blend it out nicely and not have like patches. Like, you know, when you put your brush down, you get that big old blob. You're gonna get that if you put way too much product on your brush. But other than that, it blended out really nicely. It lasted all day. I have no complaints about that. I did use the caramel toffee under my eyes, this one right here, and I put it to set under my eyes before, and it looked so nice. It did not leave any creasing. It did not leave a certain colory like difference to my skin. It looked very nice. So I also like the lighter color to put under my eyes, and it worked just as well as the older version did for me. So again, I am not poo-pooing the new version. It's all personal preference. I'm gonna go back down to that. It just all depends on what you prefer as far as how you like a product to perform, how you use a product. If you are a monster to your products and you like jab your brush in there, you may like the older version and you may want to stock up on it. I haven't heard that they're getting rid of the old version, but I'm pretty sure that they are. I don't think they're going to keep all 4 colors. So if you do like the older version, stock up on it, get it on Amazon, get it on eBay before people start jacking up the prices, because sometimes they just do things and I have no idea why companies just change things when it's working perfectly fine for everyone. I don't think I've heard one person complain about the old formula of these contour palettes. So if you guys purchased any of the new ones or the old ones, leave me down in the comment section what your thoughts are. If you do prefer the old ones versus the new ones or vice versa, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you are new to my channel, welcome to the family. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you did like it. I will try to find these online for you, the old ones and the new ones, and link them down below. I'm not sure if you can get them online or they're just in-store only type of products, and I've only been able to find them in my area at Walmart or Walgreens. So that's all I can give you at this moment. They're so fairly new that I don't know where else they're going to go, where they're going to be sold, or if they're even going to keep the old version. Thank you guys again for all of your support. I will catch you guys in my next video, and don't forget that a smile is the best makeup a girl can wear.